Heya, I'm Rat Madness. I would like to welcome you to the second FlyCube devlog. Something interesting happened in development, and I'll get to that in a second. First, I made a major change to the movement. I finally remembered how to recreate the glitch. I need to use get key and not get key down. So now instead of jumping constantly to fly up, you can just hold the spacebar for as long as you want and the cube will continue to go up until the spacebar is released. I think this gives more control to the player and removes the slight unpredictability of the individual jumps. Then I had to tackle the procedural generation of the platforms, which was scary, but the video I watched gave me a few ideas on what I could do. First, I had to make the platform into a prefab so I could refer to it in the code and make copies of it. Next, I set the minimum and maximum distances in the editor window, so I would have an area to spawn the platforms in. Then I used instantiate to spawn the platforms. And finally, I used random.range to make those platforms spawn anywhere within the minimum and maximum distance. Then at some point, I put the do while loop into the update method, moved a line of code, and then it crashed when I tried to play it in the editor. It was so bad that I couldn't move my mouse, stop the recording, even open the task manager. I had to restart my computer completely. So I took a break from working on it after all that. When I came back, I monitored my task manager and found that playing it was raising the memory constantly. So after a while of testing it, I eventually just deleted the script file from my scripts folder, copied the code I had, made a new script, and then put the code back in and changed it. Now it's working like it was. But now there's the issue of the platforms spawning on top of each other and being way too close. There's no way the player can get through those platforms. So it was time to get to work. I did some digging on the internet on how to set a minimum spawn distance from each platform. I found the topic of Poisson disk sampling. I read through the article that was posted and it didn't make sense to me. I think it's a little bit out of my range of knowledge for now, so I'm going to try to figure it out on my own and let that article sit in my mind for a little bit. So I kept working on the platforms, reading posts on the forums and watching videos that might help. There was actually a day where I focused in and worked for about 4.5 hours, trying to get those platforms to distance themselves from each other. And all that work resulted in nothing. Just kidding. While I didn't get any results for my efforts, I still learned more about programming. Game development is a journey, and I think that even if you don't make any progress, you still have in some way, whether it be new knowledge, new ideas, or a new perspective. So if you have a project that you're working on and you run into a similar situation, just remember that you are still growing as a game developer, even if it doesn't seem like you've made any progress. Okay, so my goal going forward is to watch a new video I found that might help me get these platforms to work properly. I'm excited to see if I finally found a possible solution. And that's all for this devlog. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.